Hello, everybody. How are you doing, dear astrology lovers, dear followers? Here is Olga with the weekly horoscope. I will present you the analysis of the transits, planetary transits of the week of September 11th to September 17th. Well, if I wanted to describe in one sentence the general mood, the energy of the week, I would say that this will be the time of work on projects and strategies until under the veil of Venus and under the control of Saturn. Actually, this week will be the most constructive and the most productive period of the month of September 2017. This will be time that will give us the opportunities to fulfill our past desires, what we wanted to achieve in the past, and the desires and wishes and plans and dreams that are important to us. We can count on progress and success in social and public activities, in cooperation and partnerships. The favorable opportunities in financial affairs will open to us thanks to or through the participation and support of other people. These days, the current week, the upcoming week, will be wonderful days when the relationships we care about will be filled with new emotions, new senses, meanings, and will be more harmonious. Nevertheless, these promising opportunities will be the result of difficult decisions, of serious work, of resolution of complicated situations, and of the elimination of obstacles. All these I just enumerated, we will have to deal with between the 10th and 14th of September, the first half of the upcoming week. If you want to get what we want, we will have to sacrifice something. We'll have to give up to something. I will explain now what aspects are responsible for these energies. I recall you that, I mentioned this already in the last video, that on the 10th of September we had an ingression. Mercury entered the sign of its rulership, Virgo, the Earth mutable sign, and Mercury will stay in Virgo until September 30th. The transit of Mercury by the sign of Virgo brings transcendental ideas back to the practical plane, level. Okay, during this transit in business, the concrete approach to the facts, also, respect of details will be welcome. The formal respect of the rules of the decency, the follow-up of the protocol will be appreciated more, of course. The transit of Mercury by the sign of Virgo is a good time for planning, for preparing reports, as well as for putting things in order, for working with documents and archives. At the same time, in our attitudes with our contacts, we will be more demanding, pedantic. Small imperfections will not be neglected, and this excessive criticism, sensibility to the imperfections of other people will be maybe the source of conflict. So try to stay tolerant with other people. No, don't criticize too much, because this is a tendency, of course, to criticize too much. The tendency of Mercury in Virgo, whether during the transit or if you have this position in your birth chart. Well, the star of the week is, of course, Venus, because Venus is the planet of values, the values, material and non-material values, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, and partnership, will gradually approach the point of the solar eclipse of the 21st of August. You remember the 29th degree of Leo that was crossed the last week by the conjunction Mars-Mercury. This time, this is of course, the tour of Venus to cross the point, because planets, they move forward, right? All of them will cross the point of the eclipse. But since we are getting further from the day of the eclipse, of course, we will not consider the transit of a slow planet by the eclipse, because we will not consider the transit of a slow planet by the point of the eclipse, because we are already far from the day of the eclipse. We are not in the energy of the eclipse anymore. So yes, Venus will cross the 29th degree of Leo on the 19th of September, so it's getting closer to this degree. And in addition to that, throughout the week, Venus will form major aspects: trine with Saturn, sextile with Jupiter, and trine to Uranus, thus being involved to the aspectual configuration, the KITE, if I'm not mistaken, KITE, the configuration of aspects formed, when you have three planets that form the big trine, and two of them, on one side of these three trines, you have two sextiles, fourth point, trine, and suddenly additional two sextiles, okay? So the fact that we have this very powerful spectral configuration, the KITE, and the fact that Venus is getting closer to the point of the eclipse of August, all this means that during this current week, from September 11th to the 17th, problems of aesthetics, resources, and situation of choice of values will be the main subjects of the week, and they will be the causes or the reasons of the unexpected turns of the scenario, also the reason of luck. So it's extremely powerful configuration of aspect, and the energies of the week are extremely constructive and powerful and promising. We can achieve a lot this week, really. Well, I will add more information now in a while. For the moment, I'm talking about the configuration, the KITE. During this week, we could see in our lives new people, favorable circumstances, and the resources that are necessary for us, that we need. I mean, people, circumstances, and resources that we need to achieve the goals that we set up during the eclipse of August. We will be able to resolve our problems thanks to the endurance, the ability to lower ambitions and pretensions. It's necessary now to act in an unconventional way, but at the same time respecting the law. This is also a time for romantic encounters, including encounters via internet. It's a good time to begin a relationship or all type of partnership or cooperation. But the most favorable moment for this, new partnership relationships, will be from September 10th to the 15th. Now we'll talk more in details about each aspect that Venus forms. Wednesday, September 13th, Venus is in trine with Saturn. This aspect coincides with the last quarter of the lunar months, when the moon will be in the 20th degree of Gemini. The period of impact of the trine Venus-Saturn is from September 8 to 19. This is an appropriate time to discuss urgent problems in business and personal relationships, to resolve financial problems. Love relationships that will begin in this period will be surely based on reason and practical approach, because of the Saturn, right? And be devoid of great big passion. Okay, they will be like rather cool and down to earth, very calm. Yeah, not there won't be big passion, but they will be characterized by balance and constancy. Okay. It's a good time to strengthen and establish strong and lasting contacts with partners and colleagues, with the influential people or older people. We must not exclude the renewal of old links, old ties, old connections, they will be useful now to us. Some of us might start dating a person who has a big difference of age with us. This is also a symbolism of Saturn, right? Time and age. I will jump Thursday. I will get back to Thursday in a while. I will comment on the aspect Venus in sextile with Jupiter on Friday, September 15th. The action time of this aspect is September 10th to 19th. It's a good time to solve legal and financial problems, for the development of business, for public and artistic activities, for exhibitions and presentations. It's a very favorable time for creative people, cultural and artistic figures, businessmen, designers. It's a good time for the sale and purchase of luxury goods, for big purchases. Trade contracts will be profitable, as well as long travel, the symbolism of Jupiter, right? Agreements with foreign partners, the beginning of partnerships and cooperations with the foreign partners will be promising. Now, if I get back, to the day before, Thursday, September 14th, Sun in square to Saturn. Well, this is the aspect that is going to spoil, to ruin this sunny picture, formed by these two aspects of Venus, trine with Saturn and sextile with Jupiter. Between these two aspects, there is suddenly the square Sun-Saturn. This is a very tense aspect, and which influence from Monday to Thursday will be limited in our capacities and possibilities because of a great number of tasks or things to do, and because we will have to work hard, to work a lot. We will have to overcome obstacles, to get rid of we will have to analyze the reasons of what's happening with us now, the circumstances of the past. We'll have to do so many things, like it may seem to us that we have to do too much, that we don't have enough of courage to overcome all this. But look, this is once again a lesson of Saturn, the lesson of realism. If we show that our serious intentions are confirmed by our concrete actions, if we receive, if we accept the challenge, we will receive a reward for the work done. The reward in the form of encounters with the right people, or in the form of new resources, in the form of progress in relations, and in the form of favorable opportunities in business. But nevertheless, yes, this will be very tough and very difficult period, the first half of the week. The questions of career, real estate, relations with the superiors, with the official bodies, will be the order of the day. This will be the most important subjects of the day. The affairs of the elderly people and health issues of issues of our health or of health of elderly people may be in the focus of our concern. I can imagine that we will have for sure to give up to something, to face the burden of work, of labor, duties and obligations. We will be obliged to wait, to postpone the delays and terms, and to face, delays, and to change them, postpone. It's inevitable. This is always how the square or opposition with the Saturn is manifested. Also, conjunctions, not easy. Now, conjunction Sun-Saturn. But this is the only thing that spoils the week, the only aspect, because we had three gorgeous aspects of Venus. The third of these three I will mention in a while. Saturday, September 16th. Mercury is in conjunction with Mars. This is the background aspect of the month, conjunction Mercury and Mars. Because remember, it was, it covers the period of the September 1st to 21st. It was It is exact twice. Actually, it was exact the first time on the 3rd of September when during the retrograde phase of Mercury, and it will be exact the second time on the 16th of September during the direct phase of Mercury, right? This is an aspect of activization of contacts, of discussions, of clarifying of our positions, business trips. We may expect the right moment for intensive mental work. The resolution of complex intellectual problems will be easy for us. Also, important negotiations will be profitable. We need to maintain, nevertheless, self-control because in its negative manifestation, the energy of this aspect increases impulsiveness, irritability, and intransigence in French. Yes, too much. Yes, irritability. I don't know in French. I forgot to check intransigence. I'm sure it's pronounced in a similar way. This will hinder communication and mutual understanding if we are too impulsive, not tolerant enough. Quarrels can quickly turn into conflicts, and conflicts can reach a pronounced confrontation, even a fight. A physical fight, I mean, right? Not only verbal fight. This transit increases the number of road accidents, so by consequence, occasions of contacts with the police. So if you don't want to meet one more time with the police, so we have to be careful during while driving, using transport, when we handle sharp and cutting objects, various mechanisms, if you want to avoid injuries and injuries and cuts. Yes, this third aspect of Venus, of the week, trine with Uranus will be exact on Monday after Monday, September 18th, but of course I will comment on it now. The aspect is in its orbit between the 10th and 19th of September, trine Venus-Uranus. This is a time which is suitable for experimentation, for searching for new ways of work, and also a time when we look for adventures in personal life. Our desire to bring diversity to routine, to do something new, can give an unexpected but positive result. Circumstances may lead to the search of an unconventional or new source of income. This is a good time for people of creative professions, for businessmen, people who work in show business, show business, for designers, for computer, for IT technologies, who work with computers and with IT technologies. The aspect promotes entertainment, fun, friendship, romance. It can bring pleasant surprises, thanks to Uranus. Social life can become more active and bring new opportunities. Unusual encounters and coincidences are also possible. The energies of the aspect stimulate the desire to flirt, That's why a friendly relationship can turn into a romantic relationship. It can develop quickly, but if we want it to continue in time, there is one condition, that we have common intellectual and spiritual interests and values, that we share these friendship, intellectual complicity with the partner, spiritual intellectual complicity. So all these trends, all these tendencies, Venus that is getting closer to the degree of the eclipse of August, Venus that forms three major aspects and is a part of the configuration, the KITE, right? Square Saturn, Sun Saturn, all these trends and tendencies will develop in the context of the last quarter of the moon, because we expect the new moon in Virgo on the 19th of September. So the last quarter of the moon is the time of completion, synthesis, achieving the results of what has been done in the past. We will be able during this week to solve the problems that have arisen in July, in the second half of July, and in August. We will be able to take advantage of the changes that have taken place over the last 2 months. This is really the last the moment of the very last relief, you know. The eclipses and the difficulties of the month of August are really behind, and the end of the lunar months, you will feel so light finally. In addition to this, we will have opportunity to implement to realize our plans that we visualized in the past, in the first half of the lunar month, because we're getting to the end of the lunar month. But there is one condition. All this will be possible if we respect the right strategy of behavior, that we accept the challenge to make difficult decisions that are required from us. If we accept the challenge to take responsibilities, to do the hard work, in this case we will succeed. So in other words, starting from the middle of the week, the second half of the evening of Wednesday, and of course on Thursday and Friday, we will see that things will finally move, from this dead point when everything is blocked by the square Sun Saturn. Complex problems will begin to be resolved, and we will see the fruit of our work and our efforts. And if we see actually the result of the past efforts, that would mean that we are moving in the right direction. At the very least, we will be able to solve past problems related to finances with our loved ones, with children. We'll be able to carry out creative projects, able to find time for leisure and the rest. But in the most favorable variants, it will be the time to get rewards, like, time of progress in social activities, time for development in our relationships, professional and love relationships with other people and with the world. It will be also the time for access to the resources and necessary support, and of course the time for opening of new doors in all that concerns self-realization and self-expression. And finally, at the end of the week will be filled with contacts, communication, news, information, travels, trips, activities, all kinds of activities. It's very important to remember that we should not spend our energy randomly for many occupations or activities that are, of secondary importance. But we have to use the energy, direct this energy towards work with information. The probability of transport accidents, conflicts, and unjustified scandals will be increased, and nervous saturation can be manifested in the aggravation of psychosomatic problems. So the end of the week will be a little bit nervous, but nothing really bad. The most difficult part is the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But besides that, for me personally, the week is extremely productive, and we have to take advantage of these gorgeous transits of Venus especially, right? And the last quarter of the lunar month. Thank you for your attention, for your time, and thank you for continuing following me. I wish you a wonderful week, an awesome week, constructive week, and I'll talk to you very soon, the next week. Goodbye.